Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, September 2nd, 2021, Thursday, and same issue of quality and safety in this life with everyone. Title of talk being Civil Field Engineering, Life, Quality and AnnexSL, COVID-19, Safety, Health, Environment, Engineers' Role, Designs, Construction, Methods, Contracts, Organizations, or Communication, Coordination, and why we behind quality of standard materials and systems. There are so many parameters in this talk every day, and these are really Annex SL, which is ISO 9001 2015 related. It's also COVID-19 issue. It's also related to safety, health, and environment, as well as engineers' role to all these problems, all these involvements. You can say all these related fields, and of course designs in engineering as well as others, and construction in engineering. And engineering construction means all disciplines are involved. And methods, when we say methods, means methods of how to do something is called method or procedure. And contracts, because everything is linked to contracts. No work can be done without contracts. Generally, it's a practice all over the world. Contracts, EPC or construction contracts, means to tell someone or to know from someone what's happening or some communication is also a big skill, we can say. It's a question of requirements, and coordination is mutual understanding of something. I tell you something, I coordinate with you, means I have to tell you something at some right time, and you have to know that right now. And why be behind quality? What's the reason of behind quality? Quality is very important. It's what the title says about this, and it says so many other issues. I just put so many out of that. And when I talk, I can talk miscellaneously, and that depends on. Now I can talk of certification. This certification, you can see this certification of professional engineering, this certification with everybody who can call oneself competent. Competent means capable of doing something legally as well as professionally. That's called competence. Competence means you can be relied upon. Competence means competent person can be relied upon, and that's what is necessary because we are doing something. It's project or it's work, it's construction or manufacturing or whatever it is. It means something where money is spent. Money is one criteria, but ultimately natural resources, natural sources are utilized, human resources are utilized, and you can say equipment are utilized, or whatever technical knowledge is utilized. It's utilized for purpose of construction, for purpose of manufacturing, purpose of industries, for purpose of whatever it. They may be competent, they may not be competent. That's another issue. But issue is they are considered on level of having achieved competency in life, reliability in life, you can say accountability in life, and you can say availability in life, and their works maintainability in life. We can also call it a kind of RAM study, say mechanical engineering. RAM means reliability, accessibility, availability, maintainability, or whatever you can say. Something of competency, and we reach then a level of quality which is very different world, though it's very common world. It's common, and I don't want to keep it common. It's very specific requirement. Quality work is important, and without quality work is unimportant, you can say like this. Safety is a part of system. Safety is a part of life. Safety is a fight can take us to death, ignorance of which can take us to bad work, ignorance of which can take us to accident, manufacturing, or whatever you can say, in whichever industry or in workshops or in factories, you can say, safety is very much important part. It's not only very much, it's excellently much. It's, you can say, without this nobody can work, and if somebody works, this means you subject yourself to risk of accidents. Safety, health, and environment are very important. You can say safety plus health plus environment equal to life existence. Can keep environment good, and without these combinations of safety, health, and environment, which must be good, at least good, if not very good, or you can say tenable, in which you can at least respire, you can breathe perfectly or safely. Ergonomics is a science that is related to safety, related to surrounding environment, related to your positions, how do you work, in which position, whether in office or in site or in factory or in industries, it depends. So quality of system, quality of work, quality of each activity, quality of task, quality of product, quality of material, every aspect which is involved in these you can say activities, in these works, are important. Somebody can say quality is not very important. I don't accept that. It's not necessary that we have to talk separately for quality, because quality is an integrated part, it's an inbuilt part of whatever activity, whatever operation, whatever work we do, manufacturing or construction or service, whatever we do, and also in our life, whatever we do, other than profession, other than business, in our life as an individual or as member of family or as family unit itself, how do we do, that also comes somewhere from requirement of quality. What is your life, how can you, what sort of house you have, what sort of space you have, what sort of washing facility you have, what sort of hygiene you have, what sort of housekeeping do you maintain, all can also, you can say, you can apply to your life. Do you sleep well? Is your bed comfortable? Is your environment of your house is comfortable? It's well done. Your cooking style is okay. You take good food. I'm not saying you have to take everything specialized, but where you feel that yes, my living conditions are okay, I accept that. Good living I have. If you don't have status living, doesn't matter. Good living is also status living. If you can breathe properly, you can comfortably live in your home, and you maintain good relations with people, that's also a part of quality. An individual is very much important. You can say an individual, at individual level, quality is excellently required, because each individual is unit of family, and each family is unit of society, and you can say otherwise nation and world. So quality at individual level is very important, just like quality of material as at ingredient level is also important. I'm saying ingredient because there are so many ingredients in some materials, where you say one material is not enough for producing product. There can be many ingredients. So when I say many ingredients, each ingredient is important in itself. It must have natural quality, it must have refined quality, it must have developed quality, it must have manufacturing quality, it must have process quality, it must have construction quality, whatever you can say. Likewise, every individual has must have same type of quality within it. Yes, it depends upon performance of individual, it depends upon will of individual, it depends upon determination, commitment, you can say devotion, or what individual wants to get in life. All depends on, you can say it's like examination of life. When we appear in examination, we have to see how many questions we can attempt, how many questions successfully we attempt, and what position or grade or marks one obtains. That's also measured as quality of performance. If somebody gets just pass mark, okay, he got pass mark. Or if got some, oh no, he got distinction. Or he got so much grade of mark, and that's measurement of quality. Same way, what grade we do in our life, what level of work we can do, what's our standard of working. Standard is our own made. It's not. It hasn't come from unknown source, or you can say it's not miraculous. We ourselves define standards, and standards nothing but it's a requirement of quality. Quality is kind of specification. Standards is national standards. IBS or EU standard or American standard or British, whatever you say, those are means those standards have been verified during performance, and those are acceptable to some, those are not acceptable to some. It depends, and that's actually a part of equivalent to quality system. Without a standard, we don't work. Every item is standardized. Every activity in performance is also defined, or if not defined, must be defined. So actually, quality means standards, quality means specifications, quality means definitions, but it's not enough. Whatever we say, it is specification, it is standard, it's convention, it's industrial practice, good industrial practice or bad industrial practice. Bad we can't accept, but good we accept. So when we say if nothing is mentioned somewhere or judge is especially right, you have to follow standards, you have to follow specifications, you have to follow industrial practice, you have to follow good practice, like that is written. Or human errors are very significant when you consider quality, because every human is different. Concentration of human are different. Energies of human are different. Energies of humans are different. You have to consider that fact too. So we can say quality required everywhere and in every activity in life and in engineering. Safety, health, environment required everywhere during manufacturing and in construction. Which is much about the legislature. How do you use an energy? Nobody will come and teach you. No law will say you like this. You have to decide yourself as a professional, as a work person, as I mean say a person who can't think so much, so that person must be advised you do like this. And that is in best possible manner. So that worker is least impacted upon by adverse actions, because everybody cannot think. Somebody can think, but not to that level. They can decide which is best or which is good, which is not best, which is not better. So it's better to use ergonomic science for that person, which is best mode of your working. Just like so ergonomics, we just say it's something like it's okay. You should sit in chair in this mode, or you should stand like this. You should lean on wall as it is this position, or you should what position you should take while you're rising or you're ascending on ladder, like that, where you are to spend your energies. Your energies should not go waste. It should be utilized, and these requirements are certainly must. No way to respond to no. You have to ask a question. So you can say again, ergonomics is a science that tells everyone, that advises everyone, or that asks everyone about how to use available energies for doing work. To use available energies for doing work activities in best possible manner, so that worker is least impacted upon by adverse actions. These requirements are certainly a must, and no one can say no to those. No way out, and without good quality compliance and applications. Good quality compliance must, applications must. Good safety, health, environment compliance applications, nothing can move in right direction. We can say safety first is a requirement. Safety first means you have to consider it first. It doesn't mean it's overall. This means safety must be considered at every activity, during every activity, and it must remain everywhere. In manufacturing, it should comply with. Before manufacturing, it should be complied with by doing preparatory work, and post manufacturing also while do handling work. So pre manufacturing, during manufacturing, post manufacturing, these are must in where in places where work is done, production is done. It may be production in manufacturing, it may be in industries, it may be in construction industry, or it may be wherever we consider. It should be conducted properly. It should happen, say, if we ignore this, we for safety, you care for your life, which nobody else can care. You are your own doctor, pre-doctor, you are pre-medical doctor. You take your own care, you won't need doctor. If you don't take your own care, certainly you will require doctor to some extent, which may be fatal accidents or non-fatal accidents. So safety cannot be ignored, and if ignored means you ignore yourself, you ignore your mind, you ignore your family, you ignore your future. And if you know safety, you understand safety, you shall not feel any pain, and you shall not meet any. You know safety means if you don't care for safety, certainly you have to worry about. And quality, which we call quality, exists everywhere. It's not a word alone, it's not a term alone, it's a requirement. It's a requirement like my body has requirement of breathing, my body has a requirement of protection. Same way I can say quality has to be complied with defined requirements within ambit of work specifications. Quality ranges in elaborations depending on indicative descriptions, and there exists no unlimited scope of quality criteria to be carried out. Inspections and audits, we were talking about this last time, and we covered a length of this. Also, COVID is moving. I don't want to include much discussion in this because COVID is doing its job, but we are not doing our job. To be very frank, maybe you ask me why I'm saying this. It's a fact of life. See, sometimes there is no meaning in being arrogant because people say, oh, it's all dream, there's no COVID. Ah, where is COVID? Of course, the common people can ask this because everybody cannot analyze, everybody cannot keep in touch with latest news, everybody is not able to update. No problem, it happens. 8 billion people, you can't expect all 8 billion people to concentrate on COVID or to take care of their own health. But even some people care. It's their duty to teach them or to at least inform them. It happens. Misinformation works everywhere. It may be America or it may be some remotest Africa, Far East. Misinformation works very fast. Misinterpretation works very fast. It is true that COVID in terms of COVID 19, which has been continuously teaching us how to live in life. But we are not able to understand that because we are arrogant, we are coward, all we don't analyze at any level. Analyze, you may understand, is very important part in life. If we can't analyze, understand. When I say analysis, professionally, a master tool it is for work contemplation, but it has no meaning for those who do not know what is analysis, what is problem, who may say something about some reasons. Okay, there could be some reason they say, oh, God likes this or God prefers this, what they say. Well, they link analysis to God likes it. Or what can I do? That term is used. What phrasing is used? What can I do? I don't know how to happen. That's okay. I don't mind that. It's ignorance. Means if somebody doesn't understand, you can't expect everybody understand everything. That's right. But COVID is not everything now. It's well known. Every child knows, even animals know that COVID-19 has been working. Okay, name is 19, leave it aside, COVID is working. It's working and we have no potential to stop it. It has been established. Human has failed, it is established. They may say anything, they may say this and that. Okay, let them say. It's their career. They have to say like this to build their career. But fact remains that COVID, which we call corona, still is unknown. It's a fact. We have no capacity to know it. It's a fact. We cannot go into depth of what is its origin. It's a fact. Don't talk politics. I don't have any interest talking politics in COVID because it's a question of health of everybody. It's not site alone. It's not manufacturing alone where few people are involved. Whole world is involved. 8 billion people, if there are 8 billion people, maybe more, are involved. Whole environment is involved. So when it applies to universe or universally to earth, we can say there is some concern. There should be. And that concern is precautionary measures only. When we cannot do anything, we have only one way, have precautionary measures. And only one measure is very important if you take, and that is wear mask, use mask, don't argue, don't fight. Even if you don't get any benefit, you won't lose anything. Try to understand. Everyone, everyone I am saying, I am requesting everyone, don't have egoistic. Don't get egoistic for mask. It is your protection, like lids on your eyes, like eyeballs have protection from, you can say, eyelash, like our body has protection from so many other provisions by God. Everything has to be protected. Likewise, we have to protect ourselves. And there is only small requirement, just like you can wear a shirt, you can wear pant, you can wear sari, you can wear suit, you can wear cap, and you can wear shoes and socks. So many items everybody wears. Only problem is in one small item that can protect your mouth or lips and nose. And of course, many people wear sunglasses and they wear goggles, and they wear eye spectacles. If just you care about that portion, I think COVID won't harm you. You can have better protection. What's problem in that? I don't understand. Okay, you may have some problem because somewhere it is hot, or you may have some respiration problem. Well, there's a way, means you should design your mask that way that respiration doesn't cause an issue. That's a very important point. I don't know why to be so arrogant. It gives you safety not only from COVID-19, it gives you safety from that dust will not go into your nose, dust particles, and also humidity may not enter your nose. Also, portion on which you cover, use this cover of mask, that portion shall remain safe, or you cover as much as you can do by using your handkerchief crosswise on your head. It will give more protection. Just like those women who used to live in burqa, or who used to live in, you can say, scarf, or used to live in saris or ghungats or veil. They used to keep their faces better than other parts of body which were exposed to. And of course you can use mask so it is protected from, at that portion of mask which is covered, from ultraviolet rays. And ultraviolet rays, so it can protect, but it's very good for resistance against COVID-19. Ultraviolet rays can give better protection against COVID-19 to some extent. If you consume ultraviolet rays from solar energy for 15 to 20 minutes, or maximum half an hour is enough. Your body sweats out and impurities are out. So it's multi-purpose, means it's some magic, but your body is covered. You can use cover of your mouth. What's the problem with that? I don't understand. Better take care of that, and take care of other consumptions also. Means heated body has better protection against COVID-19 than AC cold body, or cold chilled water drinking is not good for this. AC, excessive use of AC is not good. And if you use even AC, for example, you can't live without it. Better use mask, whether you're in office or you are at home or you are in travel. At least it shall prevent certain, to some extent, yourself, and which is requirement. I think that's enough if you can do that. And eating habits I can't change. You have to eat whatever you want. So now I go to leadership organizations. I think we did a lot in this management companies, and we were working somewhere here. I think, let's say, in policy management training, general health and safety rules, project health and safety rules, and I think we are somewhere there. Health program schedule of health hazards identification. So let's go from somewhere. Let's review it better. I think what we studied monitoring and surveillance program, and before that is this list, which I think line management. I take from somewhere here, which will better for revision as well. Painting, grid blasting, also very important point. Then hand and power tools, compressed gases. I think we reached compressed gases, and electrical systems. It is we said lifting a plant, and also its excavations. Okay, so this list is very important for everybody to understand. Subcontractor area safety inspections, and this was that. In the yes, we concluded all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, and we said yes, safety in safety administration. We said that. What about management, communication, toolbox, stocks management? Emergency procedures. Emergency procedures, they are that rescue equipment, emergency transportation, emergency communication, muster points, alarm, wind socks, fire equipment. That also is used. Ramps, general access, stairways properly built, scaffolds, erection, guard. Can be considered sloped, benched, short, barriers, warnings, spoil clearance, access, egress, man-machine interface, adjacent structures, UG utilities protected, lifting, plant and equipment, cranes, general conditions, hoist, hoist, winches, excavators, conditions of wire ropes, certified equipment, condition of shackles, hooks, storage of lifting equipment, vehicle condition, backup alarms, tires, brakes and lights, and competent approved operators. I think this we did not do well. So we can say in this, you can say excavations or lifting plants and equipment. It's very, very important. Though we did it, yet we can review it. Cranes are very important item. General conditions of cranes which are part of lifting equipment. Then similarly winches and hoists which goes vertically like lift. These are very important items. Excavators with heavy machines for purpose of excavations is also very important. Very high HP machine. All these were considered in condition of shackles, hooks, storage of lifting equipment, vehicle condition, backup alarms, tires, brakes and lights, competent and approved operators. The purpose of this list and fittings and connections in temporary electric supply always there. This is subject to accident, so we have to be very careful about electrical systems. What are devices that result current has to be managed, earth leakage breakers and warning signs posted or not posted, cables how to manage and fittings and connections, and compressed gases which are also related to various issues. We can say how do we store them, that's proper storage. Or you can say how to separate them, oxygen cylinder, acetylene cylinder, LPG cylinder, or whatever cylinder, they have to be sorted out, they have to be kept separately because of various properties which can clash with each other. And conditions of cylinders, which is an important part. And then inspect cylinders everywhere. And color coding, what's color coding of cylinders, red cylinder or black cylinder or whatever it is. Then warning signs and flashback arresters means flash should not go back into that material, it's in fire. So flashback arresters, not only fire can even explode that. Flashback arresters, very important items, nothing new, know well, but this time when we talk of this, we have to take that point into consideration. And fire extinguisher, which of course very important for emergency requirement, and then cylinder secured, chained or trolley, what sort of it is, and hose connection, which is very condition, hose condition. It's very important part, though it's very small, but it's very important. And sparks containment. Then we got compressed gas system now working. You can say correct tools provided, that must be made sure tool is correct or not correct, or it is used means correct tools provided. Then storage, how we store our tools. Trained operators and correct voltage should what voltage that tool works with, and mesh maintenance and cable hose conditions. Correct voltage means voltage should be within very risky because it's question of people can fall people can fall and it can lead to fatal accidents. So working right, which means you have to check erection properly supervised erection, then lines anchor points provided, We have to go up means there should be axis, direction around. Should points used, you have to inspect all these. And there may be more points you can chart out. It's not mandatory only that you use them. It depends on conditions or locations they cited then. Working at height now. Now environment conditions, environment which is applicable everywhere, to every activity, to every person, to every equipment. Noise control. Noise is part of environment. Sometimes people don't like noise. I too also don't like high noise or impact noise. Road maintenance. Road, which is part of life, though it is development, but it's part of life. Road maintenance. Pollution controls, though it's not possible, but we have to check. We say, okay, I go for pollution. We, we take our car to that center and we whatever other reason could be there, high temperature. Then dust suppression, I say dust suppression, how to avoid dust, because dust particles, particularly clay or silt, can go into eyes and can enter into our nose and mouth. We can't keep all times our mouth closed because we have to speak to others, we have to instruct others. And dust suppression is important, so it should be checked properly. Heat exhaustion, exhaustions, heat, temperature, high temperature, exhaustion, environmental protection. These are few points which can be augmented further. More points. Painting, grid blasting assessment, ventilation. Ventilation, now I'm not talking of these marks that you can see yourself what marks are there, because it's not important point. Important point is technical. Requirement points importance. Ventilation, particularly when we carry out painting or grid blasting, you can't stay in covered area full time if there's no ventilation. Though there a door is one only, but ventilation in that case is very, very much concernable point. Then containment or screening, you can know. Containment means complete closure, and of course earthing, and of course can say communication. Communication is very important, cannot come out immediately. And flammable materials, because paints are generally flammable, and personal protective equipment, and whatever else you can consider. It can be epoxy paint, it can be washable paint, it can be emulsion, or it can be whatever else. House means where people gather, that's also called house sometime. There's no wall, nothing, but people sit and together talk of something and decide something formally. That's also called house. House means not building alone, but generally it applies to building. It applies whatever sort of activity goes on there. You can say that way. Every place is a house. Your home is a house. Your shop is a house. Your building is a house where some activity goes on. Your site is a house. Likewise, you can say your factory is a house. So you can say good site layout in housekeeping. Your site should be freely circulated. Layout must be in that direction. Materials would be stacked on every place, every site, but it can also hold your work. That point must be kept in view, but it can't be avoided. It should be consumed as fast as possible, and if it is not immediately required, keep it elsewhere or don't procure from where you have to procure. Lay down areas, material storage. On major plants, lay down areas amounts a lot of requirement. It's not for materials alone. All materials, temporary materials, preparatory materials, or you can say permanent materials, machines, equipment, storage requirement. On major projects, you can see large areas are used for lay down purposes, and these materials may stay there. Every material may stay there sometimes for months. Piping material, structural steel material, or tools are in stores. Some materials which can't be stored and covered can be kept outside. There is no limit to that. Timber denailed. Timber denailed. It's very important item. Though it looks very small, very low category, people think, oh, it's timber, nails are there, don't worry. But don't forget, you know, okay, you will take care. If a person doesn't look at that and just in hurry stands on that, walks on that, nail can puncture your sole of foot, and this can cause problem to you for a couple of days. First problem is that it will be septic. You have to take some injection, vaccine for that, and it will harm you for a couple of days. Then you can say it's better to take out nails from every piece of timber or wood, or if you cannot take it out, keep them in a safer place which are not accessible to all. Then walkways, working platforms, kept clear. Walkways means you are walking on footpath exists and we don't take care of that and stumbled. It's happened with me while walking on footpath and road. In hurry, you don't take care, you can't sit down all the time, and there's a little protrusion from floor of footpath, and little impact on your foot, because foot is foundation of your body. It's not embedded foundation, but it is free foundation, and if you walk, your foot walks when your foundation walks, and it's little kinked, you'll fall. This happens. So you can say walkway should be clear, working platform, wherever it is, working platform at height may. If it's same way as on footpath, it's another footpath at elevated level, one can fall. You have to take care about its system, how it works. It should be clear, it should be safe, it should be anchored. The housekeeping arrangements effective means everything is housekeeping. In fact, it's whatever cable is lying there on floor connected can cause accidents. Now, specialist activities, pressure testing, barrier signs, pressure, pressure is very important part, pressure testing, barrier signs, and radiography, can say pressure testing, radiography, we have discussed a lot about radiography, heavy lifts, hazardous substances, and other. There is no limit if you want to talk on them. If you want to talk of, you can say these systems, that is pressure testing in pipes, or you can say what we have to do there, what is going on, or what goes on, barriers and signs, etc. Whatever precautionary measures, safety measures are required on that must be taken off. It can be pressure test in different ways, high pressure, low pressure, radiography, which can impact your health, and it's isolated from main area, and we do that isolation of area, and it is done by embankments or it is by some of the walls. Heavy lifts and hazardous substances, which are paints, which are chemicals, construction chemicals, many other items are hazardous, and many others means we can't just confine them to these 3 or 4 points. These work very well elsewhere. Now, line management is actually exposed to direct work. Line management means frontline staff, frontline workers. What they require? They require supervision if they are not supervisors, and even if they are supervisors, they need higher supervision. So, what we say, adequate supervision on every worker, commitment. Every line worker should be committed to do job safely, qualitatively. At least safely here, because quality is related to all and safety is also related to all. But here, independent safety, individual safety, safety of work, safety of persons, safety of personnel, and near misreporting. Sometimes have it, you miss something, but you could get that. This means others could get that also. Try to understand. Near miss is very important point. It's very good because you could get that accident, you could involve in that accident, but you miss by chance due to some reason. It can happen to others also. Everybody may not be intelligent as you are, or everybody cannot be that level attentive as you are. So you miss that. This means you got escaped from that due to God's blessings or due to something else. But everybody cannot be that attentive, cannot be that intelligent as you are. So near miss can lead to accidents. Therefore, it must be reported so that it can be included in instructions, that is precautionary instructions. Now, incident follow up. Incident follow up. Take it up. Safety awareness. Everybody should be taught, everybody should be advised, everybody should be from time to time know awareness about safety, because those workers who work 95% using physical strength or physical potential, cannot think all time in that 2% time how to say. They forget because of fatigue, because of this and that. And refreshing is required, refreshing all time. Even I forget sometimes something because being tired. You walked a lot inside and you forget something. So it happens. You have to take care, particularly for those individuals, because we are talking of human personal, adequate supervision, commitment, near miss reporting, incident follow up, safety awareness, and all these can also be covered in toolbox talks, you can say, or start card arrangements, which we don't have in civil engineering but in mechanical engineering, possibly in electrical engineering, possibly in industries. That start card safety task analysis, risk reduction technique, that's called safety task analysis, and the stocks is inferior to that but very important. It should be done every day. I think that's possible. It won't take more than 5 minutes when people are assigned job. Because those people are used for instructions, chargemen, foremen, and during instructions, when they visit site also, they can conduct toolbox talks. Not necessary that you do early morning. Adjoining shift, it can be done whatever time suitable. And then now action plan, which is very important part. We have done our refresher on instructions. Now observations what we have to write in this. Comments we have to write here in. What actions are required that we have to write here in. Who shall do that by designation or by personal names. Level 1, that is, let us say, audit by management. What should management do? Organization do? It's very important part. We can't go leaving it aside. Leadership and administration. This is leadership. I always use word leadership in every talk for positions, and that is actually real world. If you say what is leadership, I should say actually that is something we do. We may call it management, we may call it supervision, we may call whatever administration, but actually leadership is very important, and everyone is a leader. In fact, if you are not leaders of others, you are leader of your own. You lead yourself. So leadership is the start of everything. Every worker is a leader for my consideration, because one leads itself to some extent, one thinks and does work. And it's also a fact we cannot stand in construction at everybody's place to guide. We go, we tell, we instruct and go. Post instruction, how many percent that person receives and applies, it depends upon that leadership. So that leadership and administration, that's important. And leadership, here is a form that says possible score, actual score, and percentage achieved. It's up to you. It depends on location, it depends on circumstances, it depends on what sort of project is that. You have to think yourself, because when you are doing audit, you are highly educated, trained professional, and you can make even some formula for that if you wish. Management training, management, or you can say organization training, whether your organization leaders are trained or they are not trained, it's important point. And they should be trained on safety, health, environment, as well as in their own callings, in their own profession. Those safety, health, and in the environment is profession for everybody. But that particular profession I'm talking, because safety, health, and environment has no limits. It varies from project to project, field to field, profession to profession, discipline to discipline. Then project health and safety, who are themselves legislature for project. It may be engineer, it may be director, it may be project manager or supervisor healthy, project shall work healthy, work efficiently. Health control program. What program we have for health control? It also it also goes into project plans. You can say safety plans. We name them. Health control program. It should give every information about policy of health, policy of safety. That plan, some people use that plan, some people don't draw that plan, but it's better. It's not writing a book, means whatever you have in gross requirement on project, you can write about that. Means it's not that you have to write 1000 activities, you have to write those activities which would be repeated from time to time, and those related precautionary measures, you can say in lead role, should be covered in that. That's called health control program. If people are healthy, they will work better on project. They will give better protection, and expenses on accidents, expenses on medicines, expenses on their leave, which we go waste, shall be protected, shall be saved. Personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment, generally abbreviated as PPE. Well, we know few only, and we always refer them, like hard hat, like safety shoes, or you can say coverall, or sometimes we say means goggles, gloves, hand gloves. Likewise, you can say belts, harness, lifelines, whatever else there's respiratory tools, respirations, you can say we need in hot areas or control areas sometimes, so respiration becomes a problem. So those equipment constitute very important part that can be considered. Of course, communications and meetings, communication from person to person, from organizer to organizer, from workers to workers, workers to foremen, foremen to officers, officers to others. Likewise, means how it is done. There should be no mix up. Information should be clear. Communication can be verbal or written. Verbal is generally used on projects because everybody cannot write. Writing is done at higher level, and that writing must be read to whom it is directed. And if it's not read, it can cause problem, and therefore meetings are done, and in meetings questions are raised. In meetings, it's not only that questions are raised but also recorded. So communication and meetings are also very important, because we cannot leave it to workers. You can't expect workers in whatever field to record everything or to write everything. Even start card becomes a problem for them because they can't do this. So then health and safety promotion. Promotion or no promotion is different, but one has to move safely in good health, and that itself is a promotion. A promotion doesn't mean we have to promote someone. It means you have to promote standards, you have to promote what you give them, how best you want to keep them safe and healthy. Means, for example, you have to keep their health care with health care. You have to provide them adequate rest. They must take liquids, drinks, tea or coffee or water or some other liquid. Also good food if you have to provide them, or if you don't have to provide them, they have to take themselves, and you have to pay for them. Or it's a part of salary. Okay, means I'm not going to stress on that. How you manage, how you organize, how you contract in, it's your point. But its movement should be there. They should take good food to have good health, and if having good health means they can care for safety and they can care for work, then we can say employee training. Training is very important part of employees. Employee training And everybody should be trained, employees should be trained in safety. And if one is not trained well, it's question mark. Employee training is important part. Training of safety, there should be various courses, induction, then you can say fire, you can say working at height, you can say chemical handling. Likewise, workers testing or staff training, workers training, officers training, engineers training, depending from activity to activity, is important role. It's important part on project, and major projects have major problems. High rise have high rise problems, low rise have low rise problems. Chemical projects are chemical other problems. So it's itself organized work, employs training, where experts of different safety disciplines are employed for this purpose. So I also got many such trainings in safety as well as in quality. These are not like syllabus of university, but practical aspect is done. Videos are shown, on site it is done. This training is very important because it impacts on efficiency of work, efficiency of person, then purchasing control, material administration, material have to purchase at least for safety purpose, for health purpose. That's also very important. You cannot keep saying all time it's very expensive, it impacts our budget. That generally, see when you write some requisition for safety purchase, it happens that, oh, don't purchase 10, purchase 5. Oh, you can't, you deliver, can't you do without that? You can take this measure, you can that measure. This generally happens when, high people, high power people like governors, managers, they don't accept this because of budget. But don't forget, safety is not that expensive financially as we think. If it is properly worked out, it doesn't go beyond many percentage. No, it doesn't go. Because it keeps your people safe, it saves time. And that time saving is important, and not only time, it puts, it gives a confidence level to workers that our site management, our work management, our factory management cares about ourselves. That's very important point. So you can say purchase control should be limited. Material handling should be proper. It's not at hazard level. It should not be at random. What about spare parts? What about defects, breakdowns? Everything should be taken care of. It all requires administrative or manager or engineer's role here. Contractor control. That's also important because contractor means contractor for you, for work. And no contractor means if you can't do yourself, you can't do anything. Contractor cannot be just used as a bad term, as some people think so, because contractor is a professional like engineer is. Because engineer and contractor are related. Without engineer, contractor cannot do, and without contractor, engineer or others cannot do. It's not a matter of shame, one is contractor. After all, what is contractor? You agreed for something to do for some consideration. That is contract, nothing else. One has to pay and one has to do. That's all. This is clear terminology. Contractor control. We have to be very much careful about this. Then you can say after contractor control, it is emergency preparedness. One has to be prepared for everything. It's very important point. At every place, emergency preparedness is very important. We will discuss it. It's very important, and it's long chapter, emergency preparedness, which has been taken many times. Just like, whatever sort of emergency, fire emergency is very, very significant, because we don't know, we can't control fire immediately, and many other emergencies are there. Some accidents on site, for example, formwork falls, or something else happens which lead to accidents, or which can lead to deaths, or we have to evacuate people from there due to whatever reason. That is all I can say. Whatever can happen in that way, in which we can bring into ambit of safety, health and environment. Fire prevention, that I said already. Fire prevention is very important part, and risk assessments. These points will take: fire prevention, risk assessments, procedures and method statements, incident reporting, investigation, documents, resources, program monitoring and surveillance. We have to take care of these. We have to take care of fire prevention in very, very professional way, because fire doesn't know anybody. Fire cannot take care of its own. It promotes itself very fast depending on which type of material comes into its contact, which types of environment comes into its contact. It is fire conducive or fire resistant, it depends. But there is no material that can resist fire absolutely. It's only time based prevention, it's only time based resistance. You can say 15 minutes fire prevention or fire resistance, half an hour, or 45 minutes, or 1 hour, 2 hours. I don't think more than 2 hours there is something that can be considered. So this is just like there is no resistance to earthquake forces successfully, there is no resistance to fire as well. Fire has to work, it can be suppressed. That is important. Suppression means we could not prevent, and if we can prevent, means you can say fire preventive measures we can take, loss preventive measures we can take. That's called important, that's very important, because prevention stands over cure. Cure is not bad work. Loss prevention is better than having losses. And same way, risk assessment it's called. And if we understand that by analysis in advance, then we can find solution, possible solution, feasible solution, or we can conduct more thinking on that, more contemplation on that, and we can find solutions. In that case, we can say we have resolved our risk. So that state, when we got solution, it's that it doesn't exist, risk doesn't exist, only probability exists. So that risk assistance we have to take, just like we say in START, safety task analysis and risk reduction technique. We can reduce risk by some percentages or by some steps, or we can say we have gone down, it's only now 10% risk or 5% risk, or it's 90%. In both cases, means that is, you can say, when you understand all about all foregoing points, we can go on to move to a stage which can be written, which can be understood, and which can be known, which can be instructed. That this is only way on this project, or this is a way of out of many ways that we have to work, and that is called procedures and method statements. We will discuss it. Very, very important part it is. We cannot go beyond this. And then, otherwise is, if we don't consider method statements, I'll discuss with this, will, if don't take care of work like this in a safe mode, then we have to face some bad incidents, or you can say it may be minor, but I'm talking about major major incidents, or you may say those incidents that can result in fatalities. Reporting, and that can't be avoided because it's major. Yes, minor accident. And I'll be back in 5 minutes. Meanwhile, because I have to go upstairs, this is just to help me. For this, when I can read these points and think of, I'll join you after 5 minutes. Just go up and come down. Maybe 4 minutes. So let's say procedure and method statements. I'm serious about this issue. Method statement is very important activity. It is documented activities, engineering activities, quality activities, construction activity. You can say combination of construction plus quality plus engineering is called method statement. This document is produced by efforts of everybody, by inputs of everybody. Generally, engineer is right to this. I mean, say engineer is responsible for technology, who is responsible for engineering, though it's a part of quality system. It's a part of construction. In fact, information should be collected at one point, and then this information, whatever we collect from safety requirement, we collect for quality requirement, we collect for material requirement, we collect for real requirements, from equipment requirement, from documentation requirement, reference requirement, all are put into one page, one form, one documentation, one statement. It may be called procedure, or it may be called method statement. Inputs are taken from construction people. How we have to do it, what's best plan for that, means how we have to do even a small activity has to be planned properly. How many persons we have to employ on that, how many technicians we have to employ, who has to supervise, who have to execute, who have to inspect, and what precautions must be taken before doing that, before starting that, doing during work, and post working. All these are agreed in certain format. Format is not fixed, it depends on activity, and also when these materials are supplied by someone else, which are called vendors, some other vendors, we take input also from those vendors, what their data sheet states, or what their respective material application method states. All that, or we say we will follow that statement, or you can say method statement that manufacturer provides, that is also applicable. So method statement is a combination of all these inputs. These are only few inputs, but there can be more inputs if it's very complicated statement, very complicated work. Sometimes there are many pages, or sometimes there are many sketches even, not only pages. How we have to do this, how we have to plan, how to use machine, what location, how we have to shift it. Particularly when we do concrete work, major foundations or major